JP Morosi, favorite city of the winter that you visited? Good morning.
Ooh, that's a great question, Lauren. Good morning. I would say Taipei, Taiwan. What an amazing experience that was. I'd never been there before for the Premier 12. The food, the people, the experience, the Taipei Dome. I'm going to say Taipei, but Tokyo was right up there. Windsor, Ontario was right up there. Was in Santo Domingo for a while, so the Morosi passport got a good workout this winter.
How do you feel about Secaucus, New Jersey?
Secaucus, New Jersey, as you have heard, Lauren, the jewel of the Meadowlands.
That's
Cody the
I'm doing air quotes, JP. Do you happen to speak AL West? Because a lot of love on this program for the Rangers. I asked you earlier in the week about their outfield. How is their rotation shaping up middle of March?
Well, some concern now in the last couple of days with Cody Bradford, now knowing from Bruce Bochy that he will miss the beginning of the regular season due to an elbow or forearm issue. So for Bradford, he will be out. And actually in the last several days as well, Tyler Mahle, he did miss a start due to an elbow issue, or forearm issue, I should say, with Mahle. He was able to come back and pitch on the backfields yesterday, but stay tuned there because at the moment, Evaldi, DeGrom, Gray, Mahle, and then a competition now with Bradford out between Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker. Now, Jack Leiter has pitched really well this spring. He did have a number of walks in his last time out, but this has been, from the start until now, Jack Leiter's most consistent spring that he has had in the Cactus League since joining the Texas Rangers. But Kumar Rocker, to this point in time, has a bit more major league regular season success than Leiter has had. So for the next 10 days or so, a real competition between Rocker and Leiter to likely claim that final rotation spot, while the Rangers hoping now that Mahle is able to stay healthy. Of course, Mahle came back from Tommy John last year, made several starts, then had a stress reaction. So they're already now down Cody Bradford. Of course, Max Scherzer no longer a Ranger. So at the moment, it's going to be Rocker versus Leiter, but they are one injury away from potentially both of them being part of the opening day rotation. One more note, though. Patrick Murphy yesterday started 3 scoreless innings. He's a veteran who joined the club as a minor league free agent. Keep an eye on Murphy as a possible call-up for the Rangers during the season.
Fun to see that video opportunity, JP, in Texas this season. Vlad Jr. has our attention this spring. He had our attention during the season as well. He had a deadline, a personal deadline for extension talks. That has come and gone. What now?
Well, it's a really interesting question, Lauren, because there have been little bits of stories that have come out in the last several days. Keegan Matheson writing about this at MLB.com about how it seems like we're getting more and more new information about how close or not close the Jays and Vlad were on an extension. The important thing for the Jays in 2025 is this. He's having a great spring. He's healthy. He's arrived in tremendous shape. I think the overall productivity has been there. There you see what he's done in spring training. He's been durable. He's been available. All the things that you want to see. So as much as the Jays and their fans might be anxious about what happens in 2026 and beyond, the key thing is that Bo has been in camp, healthy, taking some good at-bats. Santander has arrived. This lineup, and the guys talked about it in the A block, Lauren, so much uncertainty with injuries for the other AL East teams. Quietly, the Jays have put together a pretty good spring. Yeah, there's been a bit of an issue with Max Scherzer and his thumb this spring, but I'm pretty bullish on the way that the Jays can begin this season. Yeah, there's the talk about how big is the gap. Is it $15 million? Is it more when you consider the deferred money? These are questions that will likely be revisited in November, but the important thing for now is that Vlad is healthy, having a great spring, and I look at the Jays, a team that is all in on 2025. Bo's last year, Vlad's last year, Scherzer's on a 1-year deal. It's all about these 6 months. And I would say of all the teams, Lauren, the Jays have the most urgency in the American League East to get off to a strong start.
You could certainly put the Yankees in that category. You talked about injured AL East teams are at the top of the list. It's funny because there's this thought, JP, that spring stats don't matter, right? But Yankee fans looking at Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt's stat line in spring with heart emoji eyes, what stands out to you?
Right. Well, we've had enough of the pessimism about the Yankee rotation. Yankee fans, I know you're always underdogs, so I want to give you some good storylines here. So how about Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt coming into camp in Tampa and looking really, really strong? Cody Bellinger and Goldschmidt both had tremendous performances yesterday in their win in Polk County, Florida, the jewel of the state of Florida there in Lakeland. So we're seeing Bellinger be able, I think, he'll probably hold down that third spot depending on where they want to have Judge bat. And then Goldschmidt has looked like Goldschmidt. There you go. Power to all fields, power to right center, power to left center. When I see Goldschmidt healthy taking swings like that, I'm really encouraged. And by the way, the other decision for the Yankees, Who's going to bat leadoff? Would you believe me if I said former Sean Casey pupil Austin Wells, who has come in and had a really good spring in the leadoff spot? They don't really have a classic leadoff hitter who has a high on-base percentage at the moment based on the current construct of the lineup. Volpe can do it in some ways, but I think with the way that Jazz and Volpe have been hitting, especially without Stanton in the lineup, I think this swings Chisholm and Volpe down to that 5th and 6th spot. You put Wells at the top. Wells runs the bases pretty well for a catcher. He gets on base a lot, and he's taken some really good at-bats this spring. So do not be surprised if the Yankees' leadoff man on opening day is Austin Wells, who I think I love Case, but Wells runs a little better than Sean Casey does. So I think Case said Wells, your former pupil, will be a good leadoff man there for the Yankees.
I love it, JP. I love it. He definitely runs better than me, as do most human beings run better than me. And when I watch myself run, I'm like, man, was that a grind? That was an absolute grind.
JP, great stuff today, and all hot stove season long, friend. We'll see you once the season begins. Well, the baseball from the final pitch of the 2024 World Series is going to be auctioned off to benefit those affected by the Los Angeles fires. Will Smith and his wife Kara, through their Catching Hope Foundation, are going to be auctioning off the historic ball that pitcher Walker Buehler fired for strike 3. Registration for the auction is open. The bidding begins March 21st. It continues through April 5th. The Memorabilia Network is the organization hosting the auction, and their president and CEO, Harlan Werner, joins us from Los Angeles on the Friday Hot Stove. Harlan, good morning. Thanks for the visit here. Tell us about the process from that last out to where we are now in the history of this baseball.
Well, good morning, guys. Well, I'm not sure that the baseball was destined for me. How it came about is quite interesting, but very honored to be part of the process and playing a small part in a very important process. I would want to say maybe late December, I was contacted to see if there was interest in the ball, what I thought it was worth. And so there's minor conversations. And then basically after the horrific fires, when I spoke to Will's team, I basically said, look, if this ball is going to be sold, I'm the right person to sell it. One, I'm based in Los Angeles. Two, I'm a lifetime Dodger fan. Three, unfortunately, I have 3 friends that lost their homes, 2 in Altadena and 1 in the Palisades. So it's very personal for me. I mean, we all have friends or family that have been impacted by this. And the fact that Will and Kara and the Buehler Foundation, the Dodgers, have come together to hopefully raise a tremendous amount of money to help those in need. I'm just honored to be part of it, and hopefully we can do something really special.
Harlan, you've been in the memorabilia industry for a long time, and you've have some relationships with a lot of different people. What stands out in your mind of a really cool moment you had with a superstar like maybe a Ali or a Mike Tyson?
Two people that I loved. I loved Muhammad dearly, and Mike I love. I was instrumental in putting together the deal for Muhammad to light the torch at the 1996 Olympics. In 91, I went to Switzerland and started negotiating with the Olympic Committee in Geneva to get Muhammad's gold medal, a replacement gold medal, as well as pretty much campaigning on why he should be the one to light the torch at the Olympics in 96. So that was a tremendous moment for me, and probably with Mike, other than being at the Cannes Film Festival with him for a project we did together, I think was getting him to go into rehab for almost a year at a time where it wasn't a good time for him. And I was very helpful in getting him there and working with him and the doctors to help change his life. And I was involved with Mike because Muhammad asked me if I could help Mike out. I didn't know the severity of things, but I'm proud of the work with Mike. I love Mike. So two really incredible people.
You mentioned, Harlan, that you're a Dodger fan. You're a Los Angeles native, and this is not your first rodeo around your favorite team either. You've had experiences with some of the legendary figures in franchise history. Was it similar to what you're doing with Will and this baseball? Did you help facilitate memorabilia auctions? What were your relationships like with guys like Drysdale, Koufax, Fernando?
Well, Fernando, which is still, for me, is very fresh. I mean, I used to have breakfast with Fernando once a month. Great guy, very humble, very sweet, incredible athlete. Sandy is still he's like my second father. I love him, family. He's been with me through everything, up and down, almost 40 years. Don, I had a great relationship with Don. and Annie, I still know. I was involved with Vin Scully's sale. I curated Vin's collection. We did it with Hunt Auctions, but I curated the collection for Vin, another really incredible person who I loved working with. This is a tremendous honor. Number one, I'm a big fan of Will Smith. It's actually the first autograph signing he ever did when he came up. I did. He's a Louisville guy. Muhammad was, Louisville, and just a big fan of Will's from the standpoint of watching him become an incredible, incredible ball player. To see the work that he and his wife are doing, the generosity in helping children, their Catching Hope Foundation is tremendous. So this is just an extension of being part of something much bigger, and what they've been doing in the community, and the Walker Buehler Foundation coming together, and the Dodgers. All of the money that my company is making, our commission, is being donated back to the Dodger Dream, the Dodger Foundation, which doesn't feel right to make any money on this. And the Dodgers have been so great to me for so many years. So it just feels right. If I was the right company, the right person to do this, and I hope we raise a tremendous amount of money. Well, we can bring fans' attention to the auction website, tmnauctions.com. The bidding is open on March 21st. It'll continue through April 5th. We know that this baseball is something that Dodger fans are going to be certainly very interested in. It all goes for a good cause. And Harlan, we really appreciate what you're doing here, and appreciate the time with us this morning.